right about here. Ooh, that was not bad. Ooh, that was a nice shot. Whoa, God. Oh, they're smoking. Hello, you bloody wankers. I'm so sorry I just said that to avoid a Manchester that's probably past its statute of limitations. Anyway, I'm going to try out some weapons in the Mossy. I've got 60-pound armor-piercing rockets with a 5 millisecond delayed fuse. I wonder what that does, if anything, in the game. In the belly, I've got two 250-pounders, also semi-armor-piercing with a 1-second delay. I'm hoping I get out of the frag zone within 1 second. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. So let's hop in. Okay. Close that. RPM max. Let's go ahead and crack the throttles open just a bit. Gotta do some contortionist work here. Fuel pressure cock on. And I map these for convenience. Right and left inner tanks set. Let's go ahead and test everything. Elevator. Aileron. And rudder. Okay. Set the parking brake. And battery on. Everything's green. And I'm lazy. I like to just throw on all the switches at once. Okay.
On the starter. Copy.
And I think last time I flew, I did the left engine. So let's start on the right. Not that it really matters. Whoa, okay, that was fiery. And left engine. Okay. Air filter on. Leave the radiators closed for now for warm up. Warm up the engine at 1200 RPM. And throw on some switches. Inverter on, compass on. Reflector sight, fuel pump, probe heat. Whatever. We don't need anything else. Not right now. And the sight needs to be brighter. There we go. I like to set 250 yards and a little over 60 feet. Okay, altimeter set field elevation, which is around 255 feet. And I already have notes. Our starting position heading was 313. So somewhere around there, I think. Hold on. Let me check my notes. 313, yes. Okay. And since I don't have a navigator to help with weapons, I will like to set these up on the ground. So rockets on, set the salvo, and let's open this thing. And let's see, belly bombs, tail fuse armed, and open that thing so I can see when the bomb bay is open. Next I set the trim, start with the rudder, the needle right after the R in trim, and about on the R of trim to the right for aileron. Nose trim, I put almost 2 divisions nose down. Something like, I don't know, 1.8-ish. Yeah, somewhere right about there is good enough. And really no point. I never mess with this compass, but I'll align it anyways. I think since we're sitting down in a 3-point attitude, that compass isn't actually accurate. So I used a toolbar magnetic heading to set my gyro. Even though that's technically cheating, I don't care. And yes. Unlock that gear lever guard. That will screw you up. Also unlock the flap lever guard. I hate these things. And flaps, I don't know, about 15? A little over 10-ish? How are we on temps? Oil is good. Radiator is slightly cool, I think. Can't remember the precise numbers, but we can start taxing. I haven't quite gotten the hang of sharp turns in this thing, especially when you're slow. Oh. I guess if you just get aggressive with the power, not too bad. This is Gravesend, by the way. We're heading out to the Ashley range. So our flight path is going to be... Hold on, I only remember parts of it. From Gravesend to Brighton, and then from Brighton to some pier in a harbor. And then from there to Southampton. From Southampton to the Ashley range. Then on the way back, we'll hit Farnborough and Kenley as our navigation points. One of the nice things about the runway, the north runway at Gravesend, is there's that tower or silo way off in the distance there. Makes it good to stay lined up on the runway. Okay. Close these. Gonna get noisy in here. Okay, flap set. Gear lever unlocked. Prop pitch full. Nose down, trim set, aileron trim set, rudder trim set. And let's open the radiators. Okay, so what I like to do, I don't like to do full balls of the wall takeoff. I usually do about plus 10 boost. You don't really need 12 or anything greater, to be honest. So first I run it up to 0 boost. Depending on where the nose swings, I might lead with one throttle. And brake release. Rolling. Okay. Put the right engine, left engine. There we go. Left rudder. Drifted a little bit. I think I'm at 10 boost. I can't really see. A little bit busy right now. Dancing on the rudders. Stick is still back. Once I hit about 100, okay, stick neutral. Tails up. And we're airborne. Gear up. Once we get close to 120, I pull the flaps up. Flaps up. A little bit of aft trim. Okay, and back off the boost. I like to do a cruise setting, +7. So I back it up until I get the gear horn. And then tap it forward to extinguish that. And back off the RPM, 2650. Okay. And stay at about 500 feet-ish. Oops, wrong way in the trim. Let me drop the trim a little bit. Okay, 220 to Brighton from Gravesend. So right-hand turn. And we'll overfly the airfield to set our course. Bit of a bumpy day today. And at this point, switch to my outer tanks. Left outer, right outer. Okay, and 220, we'll just hold this course and fly over the airfield. We have a slight wind from here out of the right. Slight tailwind component right now, I guess. Oh, what direction is that? Northwest-ish, I think. So until we get to Brighton, we'll be flying slightly high. Anything above treetop is high for the Mossy. Correct my course a bit. And I can close the radiators now. We're at a mild power setting. Interesting thing about the radiator flaps. With them closed, you can gain up to 10 or 15 miles an hour. With them opened, they give you a little bit of lift, almost like flaps. You have to adjust your trim anytime you open or close the radiators. Okay, so it's about 10 minutes to Brighton. And that was at 260 miles an hour. We're doing like 245, so I don't know, 11 minutes, something like that. Navigating with just a compass can be pretty tough. Normandy map has so many generic buildings that if you try to use small cities, they all look the same. So you can really only use the big cities. Sometimes you're lucky you'll find a road or railroad tracks leading you somewhere, but it's not typical. Today we've actually got railroad tracks and then a road. So railroad tracks leading us to basically the IP, and then a road from the IP to the target. Everything else is pretty much dead reckoning. I'm drifting right a bit. Not sure why. Typically you drift left. But apparently if you're only going by the compass, you know, within a mile or two of where you want to be is supposedly pretty good. Or so I've been told. Forgot to set my flap lever to neutral. I don't know that it actually does anything. Like, you know, in the MiG-21, I think the MiG-19, and definitely the Yak-52, if you forget to put your flap or gear lever in neutral, you'll run out of air pressure and can't drop your gear or flaps. But I'm not sure how the Mossy system works. You probably can't see, but there is wing flex. Also a bit of turbulence today. It's one of the things that amazed me when I flew a glider for the first time in real life. The air is so alive. You're working your feet back and forth to keep that yaw string centered. In DCS, the air is so static. You get into a bank, coordinate your stick and your rudder, and then you pretty much just keep it there. Whereas in gliders, in real life, with all 10 minutes of experience ahead in them, you get into your turn, coordinated bank and rudder, and you're still pretty much dancing with your feet. Try and keep her straight. Because the wind is knocking you around. The wind and, I don't know, whatever else the air does, knocks you around a bit. Kind of wish we had some more of that in DCS, but you don't get the physical feedback. You're just in an office chair. So, maybe if we had realistic airflow like that, Might actually be unflyable. Who knows? Okay, I believe that's the last hill before we get to Brighton. And we should be passing RAF Chile? I don't... Every time I think I know how to pronounce a British airfield or a city name, I don't pronounce it right. I don't know what the deal is, but let's go with Chile. Chile should be up here, and if I flew well, should be just off to our right somewhere. Ah, there it is. So we're not bad. We can tighten it up to the right just a little bit. One of the other tricks to navigating the Mossy is if you pick a navigation point, make sure it's something identifiable before you get to it, and initiate your turn before you actually get to it. And you don't have to pass over it, you know, you could pass beside it. So our turn point up in Brighton is the train station, the terminal there. The train stations, at least on the British side of the map, I can't remember what the French side is like. They might be the same, but on the British side, the train stations are all pretty easy to identify because they all kind of have the same structure, like a small little clock tower, basically. So they're really easy to spot. You just got to make sure the big autogen city that you're passing over is the actual city you want, and not some other one that looks exactly the same. So a lot of the churches, cathedrals look the same as well in the smaller towns. And what? There's a road up here. I think that road, yeah. That road that crests the hill. And there in the distance in the valley, well, not really a valley, on the coast is Brighton. So I'm going to stay slightly high so as not to disturb their afternoon tea. Once we get to the industrial site of Brighton off to the west, I'll drop low. Is this into, I don't know, 500 feet? So yeah, you can see there's a cathedral or a church there on the right, and then that building right there is the station. So let's head to the station. And you can see the railroad tracks right there. And from here we turn 272 degrees. So there's the station. All the stations in the Normandy map, I'm pretty sure, look like that. So let's start our turn. A little bit late, but that's okay. 272, 275, let's get past this cathedral. Okay, yep. Already disturbed their afternoon tea, so whatever. Let's go low. And shoot the gap in that industrial area. I'm actually going about 280 right now, but... Okay, now we go low. Nice lighthouse here on the right. And some kind of a fortress up here too. I don't know what it's called or what the history is, but... Okay, let's tighten up our course. 275 is good enough. Since you tend to drift left, I'm guessing from the props, because you know, aircraft wants to pull left. I like to add a couple degrees right to my headings. Not too much, maybe 3 or 4 degrees, something like that. Think of it as Kentucky windage, basically. Good on juice. Okay. I don't have very good awareness of my wingspan, so let's move a little bit away from that church. These gargantuan trees. 150-foot trees? Wait, was that a market? Huh. Most of the legs in this flight are 11 or 12 minutes. I did one flight all the way to Paris and back, and that got a little bit monotonous, to be honest. It was about 2 hours round trip. Then again, I did get lost like 3 times, so... If I don't get lost, maybe I could do it and get there and back in 90 minutes. Okay, let's go Lou again. Still on 275. Disappointed there's no girls on the beach. I'm also unsure exactly how low I am. Wish I had a radar altimeter. More gargantuan trees. These always get in the way. No idea what city this is. A lot of the cities further to the west are not named on the, what do you call it, the altitude map or the satellite map. You have to use the map filter to find the names of a lot of these cities. There's another train station. Like I said, same clock tower with a triangular hat. And the time is accurate. Clock's showing the same. Hold on, there's a little spire on there that's a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be. Woo! blowing people's shingles off here. I'm at 100 feet and it feels like the trees are almost touching me. How tall are these trees? I haven't checked temps in a while. Temps are good. Wait. Nice. I've had the radiator closed the entire time. Alright then. Good on juice. Or I should say gravy like a Brit. Ugh, more giant trees. And water! Okay, now we drive straight up here, that landmass up there somewhere. There's a very long, distinguishable pier, like a warehouse on the end of it. That is our turning point. And we'll reference 320 at that point. I wonder if I can see it. Nope, not yet. Some cliffs off there in the distance. And since we are getting close to Egress, gravy's good. Let's push up the power to about 12. Plus 12 boost. Max RPM. Oil temp's getting a bit hot, so let's open the radiators. Also getting close to, not quite Indian country, but training Indian country, so guns armed. See what looks like a warehouse up there. I think that might be the pier. Some kind of warehouse looking building. Way off in the distance. Let's line up on that. Yeah, that's probably it. Like 274 right now. Gravy's good. Temps are good. Speed 275. I'm about to push 280. Feels kind of slow, to be honest. Then again, I got 8 fat rockets. Yep, that's the pier. And remember, you turn before you hit the turn point. I'll need some altitude or I'd dig my wing into the water. So let's start our turn. 320. Three, 1. 3, 2. Slight overshoot, but that's okay. I'll double check my notes. Yep. Okay. Okay, so there's a little industrial park there. We're actually turned a little bit shallow. We'll come right a little bit more. So there's some kind of like a harbor or an inlet, kind of like a fjord up in here, except no mountains and not Norway. But up at the end of this bay is Southampton. We're gonna go along the left side where all this industrial stuff is, and we'll pick up some railroad tracks. And we'll follow those railroad tracks to the IP, which is Bird. Railroad tracks have a Y intersection. At that point, we'll turn left to 9 or 7, and we'll pick up a road that should lead us past Stony Cross Airfield and right to the target. So we need to get a bit higher so I can pick up that railroad. Railroad tracks are often lined with those gargantuan trees as well, so if you find gargantuan trees, it's likely to be a railroad or a main thoroughfare, and that does indeed look like railroad tracks. So we follow this railroad until a Y split. Okay, you can see the gargantuan trees. You just curve off to the left here, so you don't have to go crazy with your turns. These trees are getting a little bit too big for comfort. And perfect time for my eye to start itching. Oh god. Okay, so now, I remember from the map, this is important, study your maps. We basically follow this railroad straight past these factories, and I think those twin columns up there furthest away from us, as soon as we pass those, we'll hit the Y intersection. There's the twin columns, there's the Y intersection, left 2, 9, or 7. And there's the big road. So this road here, it's a bit windy, but it does lead us to the target area. Come right a bit more, 297-ish, close to 300. Yep, so that road keeps winding. Tim's good, gravy good. And you can see in the distance it goes up on that hill. Once we crest that hill, Stony Cross Airfield will be on our left, and the target should be straight ahead. A little hard to spot. I'm going after a fire control bunker, kind of a pinpoint target. And again, 1 second fusing on the bombs, so let's hope I get out of the way. Okay, cresting the hill. That's bombs armed. Open the bomb bay. There's Stony Cross. And I kind of cheat with VR. I can see the target right there because the trees aren't rendered off to the right. But yeah, sometimes, like a pinpoint target like this without many good visual cues, you know, sometimes you gotta cheat. Okay, Bombay neutral, amber light on, doors are open. Where'd the target go? There you are. Okay. Slight dive here. And pickle. Bombay closed. Okay. I think I hit it. Maybe it skipped and went just after it. Landed slightly long, maybe? Wonder how much damage I did to it. Okay, next up is the rockets. So, salvo is on. Rockets on. The rockets... they have significant drop. So let's see if we can actually hit something here. Let's pop up, because I already lost track of where I was. There you are. Temps are still good. High angle dive. Not really high angle, this is what? Maybe 20 to 15? Maybe less than that. So let's do right about here. Ooh, that was not bad. Ooh, that was a nice shot. No idea how much damage, again, but whatever. Okay, there are some targets we can strafe. Half tracks. A little bit boring. Actually, the Hispanos don't seem to do much against the half tracks. I don't know what the deal is. There's some trucks, also kind of boring. There's some Pumas. Pumas are fun. The Hispanos will just obliterate Pumas for some reason. Which I figured they'd have more armor than the half tracks, but apparently not. There's the Pumas. That's gonna be hard. Hard gap to shoot. Okay, come left. And already lost my bearings. Everything looks the same. There's the Pumas. Three little tan dots. Ooh, nice. Let me see if I can line up those two. Turbulence makes it hard. There's the rudder. Whoa, God! Oh, they're smoking. Yeah, target fixation in the Mossy is definitely a thing. And let me pepper those trucks with some 303s, and we'll head home. So here's a way I can line up 3 of them. Maybe not. Okay, I'm kind of high. That tree is going to be an issue. Oof. Okay, whatever. I'm satisfied. Let's bug out. 070. 08. 07 and push up to 16 boost. See how fast we can go. 16, baby. Bomb safe. Let's close the rad flaps, get some speed. Nice, already pushing 305. The rocket racks are probably slowing me down a bit though. 310. Like 310 is about as fast as I can get her on the deck with the empty rocket racks. It's a slightly warm day, 21C, standard pressure 29902. Maybe with lower pressure, lower temps, you could go faster? I don't know. Okay, so it was 072 to Farnborough, another 10-minute leg. Drifting right again. 320! We're in a slight dive. Gravy's still good. This is one of the times where you kind of wish you had a navigator, because I can't. Like, if you're actually in a combat area, you might want to check your tail. Except if the pilot does that, you're going to find yourself in a tree. Is there a limit on how long I can run 16 boosts? Or like 5 minutes or something? Not entirely sure what the boost limit is, to be honest. It's push it to 18. Okay, things are getting a little hot. Let's open the red flaps. 330, nice. Yeah, 320. I think 320 is about the best I can do. Or 325, I think. Okay, I think we can pull back the power. We're out of Indian territory, so let's pull her back to I think it's climb power +9 boost. +9 and 2850. Or might have been 2950. I don't remember. I want to say 2850 from the Spitfire, but whatever. Outer tank gravy's getting low. Drifted right a little bit. Not entirely sure where I am. Save the guns. Don't need those anymore. Not Farnborough. There's another airfield though. What's it called? Started with an O. Olden, something like that. Pretty sure if we maintain this heading past Olden, we'll hit Farnborough, and you know, we can pretty much climb. Do some cruising. Up to about 1,000 feet. It's probably good. Don't want to disturb their traffic pattern. I wonder if the name is printed anywhere. Just remember, like, Limpney in the channel has the name printed in the grass. No name. And Farnborough wasn't too far away. I think that's it, slightly to the right. And then from Farnborough to Kenley was... oh god. What was that? 09 or 6. For about 7 minutes. And outer tank gravy is pretty much gone, so let's switch to the inner tanks. Okay. When the outer tank needles hit 0, you still got, I don't know, maybe a minute or two. You got a little bit of fuel left over, but you gotta be ready because one of the engines is gonna die on you. Might as well just switch over to the inner tanks once those needles are down to 0. And here's Farnborough. And I already forgot the heading to Kenley. 096, right? Zero 09 or 6. Let's do 100. Just to counteract any left pull we get. For 7 minutes? Here's the clock. Okay, so 3... almost in the 8. no idea what cities these are. Kind of excited to see the replay. See where my bombs and rockets hit. And also see how much grass I cut trying to strafe that puma. And I'm almost hands off right now. Can't get the pitch trim totally settled. But yeah, I'm almost hands off, just hitting the trim. And I believe that's London up there. Are we there yet? God, like another 3 minutes. Or 4. Yeah, around London you do get a bit of a frame rate hit. But, same with Paris. It's not too bad. I mean, I haven't actually measured what the frame rate hit is. It's still smooth enough to fly, but honestly, how many dogfights are you going to be having right over Paris or London? I mean, if you do, you're going to be at 25,000 feet, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. Bumpy. And the only thing I remember about Kenley is that it's up on a hill. Oh dear, from Kenley it was what to Gravesend? About 080. Wait, that might be it. Yeah, that's Kenley. Here's Kenley and turn 080 for Gravesend. It's still London off my left wingtip. Where's the River Thames, whatever. I ain't British. I think that's it way off in the distance. Can barely see it. Every time I name a town, airfield, or river in this map, I am insulting my British ancestors. You think you know English, but you don't. Not even English speakers know English. Gravy's good. Drifting a bit left. Actually, no, we're drifting a bit right. I always forget that about the gyros. They spin the opposite direction you turn. Ugh. This cockpit does feel kind of cramped. The navigator's got the best seat in the house. He's got all the leg room. Okay, so there's the river, there's an industrial park, and Gravesend is right there. Off our nose. Okay. Let's set up for an overhead. I don't know if Mossies ever did overheads. If they did, I don't know how they do them. I just wing it. And winging it means roughly 100 feet over the field at whatever speed plus 9 boost to 2850 gives me. Climbing brake to around 800 feet, maybe 1,000, 800 feet. Reduce power to -4 boost. Drop the gear at 180 miles an hour, which I think is the gear down speed. I'm not sure. Flaps will make it climb. So then by the time you start your base turn, you're probably up at 1,000 feet. Flaps are open, filters on. Get a bit lower. Yep, something like that. That's good enough. And brake. Flap guard, flap lever guard thingy. I hate that. Gear down. Flaps down. Yep, right about 1,000 feet. Not bad. Downwind. Try to target 120. feeling pretty high. A bit too high. Let's start a turn. Need some power. Try to keep her at 120. Ooh, this is gonna be tight. Really tight. Shit, hot mossy break, okay. Alright, 125. Back to power, still at 125. She's got a lot of energy. 120. Way over the fence. 115. Idle. Flare. A little bounce. But nice and steady. Okay. Hit the brakes a little bit and get some air conditioning. Raise the flaps. And perk off to the left somewhere, I guess. Taxiway seems a bit narrow for a Mosquito. Thank you for flying Royal Air Force. Please take our survey if you enjoyed our flight. My name is Clutch. If you did not enjoy our flight, my name is Chris. Those targets are interesting. I wish we had an asset pack with those targets. We could send them up on a range and strafe them. That'd be fun. Okay, come on, turn. This thing doesn't turn like a Spitfire, does it? I wish it did. And got in the right engine. Whee! Close enough. Parking brake set. And I do not remember what the actual shutdown procedure was. Like it was... Was it zero boost? I don't know. I like to do 1800 RPM. I don't like to go super high on power checks, because I don't trust the brakes. Nice. No backfiring on that one. Okay. Compass off. Inverter off. This shit off. And we can close these guys. Filter off. Open that. Close the bombing panel. Flaps back to neutral. I always forget that. And rockets off. And salvo off. And battery off. Okay. I love the Mosquito. I think my next flight, I'm going to France to blow some shit up. See you then.